Hello, welcome to the Impact Platform 101 webinar series. This is the first of its kind, and together with me, our head of product at Digitopia, Emir, is with me. Emir, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the first episode of our webinar series, Impact Platform 101. I work as the head of products at Digitopia, and we are committed to reinventing consulting and helping organizations transform better. And we'll explain what that means in this webinar series. Thank you.
Thank you, Emir. So my name is Halil. I'm one of the co-founders of Digitopia and the co-CEO. And about 5 years ago, we as consultants, as management consultants, were thinking about how we can elevate consulting. And in the digital age, there must be a better way to execute consulting. So consulting has always been about transformation, right? So now it's time to transform consulting, and that's basically what we did. In the last 5 years, we spent a lot of thinking, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of development. Many customers helped us, many partners helped us. A lot of engagements have been conducted over the course of the last 5 years. And finally, we designed what we call the Impact Platform, which you can also experience. And Emir will walk you through the Impact Platform now very briefly. And this is the first of its kind webinar to show you that basically we have transformed from being a consulting caterpillar into a software butterfly. We internally called this the metamorphosis of Digitopia. And the outcome, basically, this impact platform, we call consulting as a service. So it's the way to measure, transform, and impact your business, being it the digital transformation or being it the sustainability transformation, or basically whatever you can measure into a software platform with consultants or as a self-service solution. The whole solution you see, we call as a software category, transformation management software. So we would like to help you, consultants and customers, both sides, to transform better and succeed with your transformation. You probably know that about 70 to 80% of transformations fail to deliver value or be executed on time, on budget, and so forth. And we believe what's measured gets done. And in that regard, the digital maturity index measurement or the sustainability maturity index will help you to monitor, measure, track, and also assure, accelerate, and amplify your transformation journey, basically. And this is what Emir will show us right now. After about 10 or 15 minutes of the platform introduction, we will open up the stage for your questions, and we will provide you also more insights from the customer perspective, how customers, users, end users, digital transformation, sustainability transformation, executives and professionals use this platform. And we have already hundreds of consultants using this platform to eliminate the low value manual labor of creating reports with Excel or PowerPoint or other tools to deliver value to their customers. So this platform basically is an integrated way to deliver value to your customers or for customers to efficiently monitor, track, and trace your transformation journey. With that, I hand it over to Emir again, and let's see what he will show us on our impact platform. Thank you, Emir.
Yeah, thank you, Halil. Again, welcome everyone. Today we'll explore how our platform is designed to revolutionize the way organizations approach transformation. I'll dive right in and start with why Digitopia's platform exists in the first place. Well, as Halil mentioned, transformation projects in businesses often fail. They fall short of their goals, and there are many challenges associated with transformations. One of the major challenges is the lack of a holistic approach. Many organizations struggle to align their strategies, processes, their people and technology effectively. So this misalignment actually causes resistance, communication gaps, suboptimal processes, and project failure ultimately. Another thing is the absence of tools and methodologies to manage and track the transformation journey, and that adds even further difficulties to the overall transformation process. So at Digitopia, we recognize these challenges and we set out to address them with our Impact platform. So the Impact platform is designed to tackle these common obstacles, and it's designed to help businesses navigate their transformations journeys in a more seamless way and in a more effective way. So by leveraging our platform, which I'll show you in a minute, one, organizations can assess their current state, compare to others, and set their target goals. That's the measure module. Two, based on the measurement or the assessment, they can receive tailored recommendations to bridge the gap between their current state and their desired state. And it allows to convert these recommendations into actionable roadmaps. So that's the transform module. And three, the organizations are provided with analytics and insights, allowing them to track their progress, identify bottlenecks, and make data-driven adjustments. And that's the transform module. That's the impact module, I'm sorry. So 3 modules in total to help organizations manage transformation efforts more effectively and seamlessly. So now let's dive right into the functionalities of the impact platform and start with measure. So when you log in, you'll be presented with a comprehensive methodology that allows you to assess and score your performance across various dimensions of maturity. Here in this demo, we'll focus on digital maturity. And on the left, you see 6 dimensions of digital maturity. And these are the customer dimension, the operations, innovation, people, governance, and technology. So we crafted this methodology of digital maturity. We call it the Digital Maturity Index. It's basically a trickling down our experience of years of experience into the methodology. And you see when you click on a dimension, each dimension is actually taken as a separate session. When you click on one, you are presented with around 15 topics to go over and complete. So on the left, you see the topics of the dimension: customer data, customer analytics, customer segmentation, as you see. And we encourage that you discuss each topic thoroughly with relevant stakeholders and answer collectively. That both fosters alignment and also that's, by the way, alignment is a very key component of transformation success. And that also leads to a more correct scoring of the topic. And after completing all the sessions, you save and exit, and you dive into your strategy cockpit. And the strategy cockpit basically allows you to visualize your overall score. You see your overall score on the left, your score by dimension in the middle. Remember, it had 6 dimensions, and also benchmarking on the right. So this provides a clear understanding of what your strengths and what your areas of improvement are. You can compare on the benchmarking at the right hand side. You can compare your scores with those of other companies in your industry. This not only gives you insights about where you are compared to your industry overall, and it also allows you to detect your areas of improvement and strong areas. So the same view is available for the target state as well. You see, I click on it. The overall target score is shown on the left, score by dimension in the middle, and target scores on the right. Once you have a comprehensive view of your target state, benchmark, and the current state, you can move on to examine your recommendations. These recommendations are created by the platform's recommendation engine based on your current situation, your desired target, and the insights gained from benchmarking. Now, If you realize these recommendations are part of the transform module, and at this stage you kind of start to deal with real actions, so you begin to transform yourself. So it's called the transform module. By analyzing the data from the sessions, recommendations are identified by our recommendation engine based on an algorithm. You can click on each recommendation to see its details, and you see that the recommendation is highlighted on the bubble chart on the left as well. So they are prioritized and placed on the bubble chart based on our algorithm that takes urgency, importance, and project size as key factors. So urgency, the x-axis, refers to how pressing the need for improvement in a particular topic is. So this is determined by comparing the organization's current performance in that topic to the benchmark. If the organization is performing poorly compared to the benchmark, then the recommendation related to that area is considered more urgent and placed towards the right-hand side of the graph. Importance, the y-axis on the other hand, refers to the significance of the gap between organization's current state and the target state. So if the gap is high, then the recommendation related to that topic is considered more important and is placed higher on the graph. Additionally, you see that the bubbles are of different size. Recommendations are categorized as big bets, as projects, and as quick wins, depending on the estimated amount of time that it would take to implement them and realize them. A recommendation that would typically take more than a year is categorized as a big bet, the largest bubble. A recommendation that would take between 3 months and a year is categorized as a project. And the smaller ones that would typically take less than 3 months to complete are called quick wins. So these are the recommendations. And with the roadmap feature, you can seamlessly translate those recommendations into actionable items. You can pick from the list, detail them with sub-initiatives, add a starting and an end date, and even add your own initiatives to create a list of a Gantt chart view is here available to create a list of action items that you should complete within a certain period of time. So these roadmaps are basically living guidelines, and you can adjust them to changes in your industry, changes in the marketplace, and ensure that your strategies stay aligned with your evolving goals. And the pit stop feature also supports this. Pit stops are special quarterly sessions that are designed to ensure alignment and elevate execution in your organization. With the pit stop sessions, you can find out if your transformation efforts are balanced and they're on track, and you can uncover opportunities and you can discover what holds you back in your path to development. So that was the transform module. And moving on to analytical capabilities in our impact module. So the platform offers two unique features as of today, more to come in the near future: vitality analysis and snowflake analysis, basically. The vitality analysis focuses on velocity and endurance. Those are the crucial aspects of transformation of an organization. Referring to the dimensions, the 6 dimensions of the digital maturity index, we categorize customer, operations, and innovation as digital velocity. And these dimensions basically foster growth and revenue generation within an organization. They are geared towards driving the organization forward in terms of its digital transformation efforts and journey and strategic goals. And we categorize people, governance, and technology dimensions as digital endurance. And these dimensions are focused on ensuring the viability and the sustainability of the business in the digital landscape. So they provide foundational support, I would say, and structure, the structure necessary for sustainable growth for organizations to thrive in the digital landscape. And the vitality analysis basically plots your organization on a chart depicting velocity on the x-axis and endurance on the y-axis. So this visual snapshot allows you to gauge your performance compared to others, and it reveals your overall standing. It also allows you to simulate your path to improvement to the levels of the right-hand quadrant, which we call the Ironman quadrant. So you can simulate your path, how to get there, whether to you may choose to increase your velocity or digital endurance, and you see that would be multiple paths to being an Ironman, and you can simulate your path towards there. And the snowflake analysis, it provides a visual representation of your organization's balance across 6 dimensions of maturity. So this chart resembles a radar chart or a spider web diagram. It shows your maturity scores in each dimension, and it compares your outlook to others again in your industry, and if you choose to companies from other industries. So this insight helps you understand how fit you are for sustainable growth. Our database shows that a more balanced outlook is positively correlated to the sustainable growth of the company. And it also allows you to visualize strengths and weakness areas in different dimensions, and it enables you to make more informed decisions on your way to become more digitally mature company. So, all right, that was the demo of the basic features of the platform. I think hopefully you should by now recognize that the Impact platform is more than just a tool. It would serve as a strategic partner in your transformation journey, and it offers precise assessments, it offers benchmarking insights, and it offers powerful analytical tools. And it is here to empower your digital transformation in a more effective and efficient way. So thank you for your time, and we are here to address any questions you might have.
Thank you, Emir. So, with all the experience we have, this is more than a few hundred years accumulated in the company of consulting experience. We thought of measuring, transforming, and impacting is kind of the typical and classical consulting approach. First, you want to understand the current state, you define a target state, the gap basically you bridge with recommendations, you prioritize them, put them on a timetable, which in modern language is called the roadmap. The priorities could be referred to as a strategy. And then you want to understand how you impact your reality and how you perform against your competitors. This basically is the overall structure of the transformation management software, which we call the Impact platform, because we would like you as consultants and as professionals and executives of companies to create impact in what you're doing. You saw the demo of the Digital Maturity Index, which is a methodology we have built, which is probably one of the most comprehensive digital maturity assessments methodologies out there, and helps you to analyze your situation in these 6 dimensions. Very similarly, about 2 years ago, we've created a team for sustainability, because that's equally important from a corporate transformation perspective, and becoming more and more important with climate change and the diversity, equity, inclusion discussion and everything. So in the same way, you can look at your sustainability maturity as well. So the QR code you just see, and hopefully we'll see again, is the link to our Impact platform. And there you can log in and experience, try out for free how the platform functions. Both actually, the Digital Maturity Index and the Sustainability Index, we call them the taster solutions, which is a limited set, a freemium version of the full function, basically. So please feel free to dial in and when you go to our main website, which is digitopia.co, and click anywhere on sign up or get started, you have free access to the impact platform, basically. What we also created, I hope that QR link is available as well. Probably also, if you can put the training course QR link on the screen. We've created certification courses for both the Digital Maturity Index and the Sustainability Maturity Index. This link you see here is with our training partner, CXO Transform, and this is the link to our Digital Maturity Index practitioner course. With that course, you get deep insight into digital transformation and digital maturity and how to use the impact platform. The impact platform obviously is a living thing. It evolves on a daily basis. We are launching new functions on a weekly basis almost. And that's the reason why we started this webinar series. Every second Wednesday of the month at the same time, 5 p.m. UK time, which is about noon East Coast and morning West Coast in the US, we will run this webinar on a regular monthly basis and will update you with the new functions and features. And these will be recorded and available on our YouTube channel as further training videos if you want to refer back to these. And we're looking really forward to have more certified consultants and practitioners, and also having more companies who are using this platform to transform better, as we call it. So, Emir, may I ask you a question, and hopefully the audience, hopefully you please share your comments on the YouTube or the LinkedIn or the Facebook, wherever you have connected to. This is streamed on 3 social media platforms, basically live right now. But we met both several years ago as management consultants, right? So how do you see this is affecting and augmenting or improving the life of a consultant? We have hundreds of certified consultants already in almost 30 countries. In 2 weeks from now, we will do another meetup, which we will call the Connect Meetup. And there we will basically introduce our partners and consultants who are using this platform. But you're a big believer that this platform is truly augmenting the consultant's life, right? So I was a lifetime consultant. You were on both sides. I will ask you another question for the other side of the equation, the receiving side of consulting services. But as a consultant, how do you perceive this in the digital age, in the age of ChatGPT and so forth? Is this augmenting, or how is it augmenting the life of a consultant? Can you elaborate on this?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. Well, unlike traditional ways of working of the consultants that rely on spreadsheets and lengthy presentations, the Impact platform offers the strategy cockpit that I just showed in the demo. And that dashboard is a living one, and it provides access to all deliverables, and it replaces cumbersome documents in a user-friendly and digital interface. So as a consultant, your clients would easily access, easily view the outcomes, analyze them, and it allows them to more comprehensively understand what you have delivered, what you have added them as a consultant. So that's probably one of the major things that enhances the life of a consultant, that augments it. It's freeing the consultants from dependence on spreadsheets, presentations. That I would say that's the number one positive side of the Impact platform with regards to the life of the consultant. And from the perspective of the client, actually, the dependency on the manual consultant is costly. So you are paying for the time of the consultant, and that probably increases globally all of the consulting services fees. So from the side of the client, it also leads to a more affordable solution. So if as a consultant you are able to deliver an affordable solution in a more comprehensive and understandable way, that would increase your life and augment your life as a consultant. And that, I would say, is the number one thing that enhances the life of a
Well, I
consultant.
see, and during my 20 odd years of management consulting, sometimes, not always, but sometimes I was questions what the value truly is, what I deliver. So we recommend our customers and our consultants to use the platform continuously and do regular assessments. The best practice we have discovered over the last 5-6 years is basically doing annual assessments, so you see your annual progress, because it's minimal anyway. Our benchmarks show that it's 0.1 or 0.2 maturity points at most. You can't run much faster as an enterprise, as a corporation. Transformation is cumbersome. But when you do the assessments regularly, this platform and these assessments and the benchmarks basically also document how the company is progressing on their journey, but probably also you might validate the value as a consultant you have contributed to the success of this journey. Would you like to elaborate on this as well?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a lot of the companies are struggling with the transformation efforts because they don't see the point in it. So with our analytical tools, with our impact module, actually, what we offer to our clients as consultants is the ability to execute and see the results of the initiatives of what the consultants are delivering to the clients. So a lot of the, I would say, the traditional consultancies depends on just leaving the clients with a bunch of documents that are usually go to the shelf. We call them the shelfware. So with the impact platform, we help our clients execute the deliverables, put them into a roadmap, and see their results with the impact module. So that really enhances their lives as well. So as a consultant, I feel lucky to be able to leverage such a platform, and I feel more valuable as a consultant. The value I provide to my clients actually makes me feel more valuable as a consultant. So that's a win-win, actually, and I love that feeling as a consultant.
Let's talk on the customer side as well. This platform basically is focused on the customer success, right? We call it transform better. This is the hashtag we have claimed. So because we see so many transformations fail or stall, or people suffer and struggle with their transformations, and there is no need. So it is going to be an evolutionary approach. Revolutions usually break. And in nature, there is evolution. In nature, revolution does not happen too often. And revolution reminds me of very bloody things, which is not recommended in a corporate environment. So rather than being too ambitious and running too fast and running out of breath, basically, and try to revolutionize, this happens sometimes, and these stories are one in a million for the majority of smaller businesses or medium-sized business or even larger businesses. To turn the Titanic's direction into the right direction takes some time. To change habits, to change behavior on the customer side takes time. So we really want customers, and also customers who don't usually have access to the top-notch consulting firms and don't have that budget to have spend hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for big consulting engagements, which end up in the shelfware, as you called it. So we want to have these online, real-time, engaging, continuously updated dashboards, basically, because in the end, when I talk to executives, they ask me, can you tell me the story in a minute? And there's this famous book of the back of the napkin. You can explain the essence, the summary of a 500-page report on one napkin, basically. And if you have a compelling story, you convince the CEO to take that decision, implement that new system, or do the cultural transformation, or get rid of the old system, or whatever it is. So how do you see the customer side is using this? And we have hundreds of customers using this platform already in about more than 20 different countries, in different languages, actually, even. What is, and you get a lot of comments as the head of product from our customers, right? Why do they love the platform, and how do they use it in their daily lives? Can you elaborate on this?
Sure. As I said at the beginning of the demo, one of the main challenges of the organizations, one of the main things that they struggle with is the alignment issue. They are unable to align their organization, their processes, their people, their technology, and that leads to transformation failure. They fall short of their goals. So I hear a lot from our clients that this assessment, this DMI or SMI, helps them align as an organization and set their goals and strategies. And as I would say, as one entity, as a complete organization, they go across the same goal. So this alignment issue is probably the first, among the first things that I hear from our clients. And secondly,
before you continue, may I jump in?
Sure.
As you know, we borrow from John Kotter and the leading change methodology a lot. And in his methodology, the first two steps, basically, step number one is creating a sense of urgency. And this happens usually when you see your benchmark, especially when you're behind the benchmark, basically. And success factor, or step two in that methodology, is building a guiding coalition, he calls it. So that alignment you're talking about is also this guiding coalition, right? Your leadership team, but also your executives and the executing professionals, your project teams, need to align. There have to be a common denominator, at least. Not everybody needs to love each other. So in a professional football team in the Premier League, or a football team in the NFL, they don't need to love each other, but they need to fight for the same goal. They work in the same direction. They want to become Champions League champion, or world champion, or whatever champion. So you want to succeed as an organization with your transformation, and therefore you have to align around those mutual values, the objectives and the vision and the strategic priorities. And here, this tool helps you to define them, to track them, and to see how you're progressing, right? So it's that alignment is based on academic scientific research coming from Harvard Business School lecture, John Kotter and his textbook on change management. But in practical life, we see many organizations, even just talking to different executives, we get a good feeling of how aligned they are or not. If you just talk to 3 or 5 of the executives and see how they describe the world with different worlds, we get a good understanding of how apart they are from each other and not. And all that what we did previously before the platform in an analog way and in a manual way as management consultants, now the tool is doing in a digital enabled way, and companies can use this, and as I said, consultants can use this as well, to identify scientifically and in a very quantitative way how aligned they are. And as you showed, the snowflake, for example, is a very good indicator, is a very scientific and quantitative indicator how aligned they are among the 6 dimensions. So that alignment argument is a very important one, and we have found a very quantitative and scientific way to digitally measure and show how well aligned they are. So I think this is one of the very important capabilities of the Impact platform.
Yeah, sure. I would agree. And not to forget something that I've heard a lot from our clients. It also, our holistic approach and our alignment focused also helps onboard new members and train talents. So if somebody has just joined an organization, it allows that person to very quickly identify the strengths and the weaknesses of the organization, of the company. And it also helps train the talents based on their weaknesses and strength areas.
Yeah, to add to that, we even have customers who are recording their assessment sessions for orientation and training purposes, because most of our customers say when we do the digital maturity index or the sustainability maturity index sessions, is not just a digital review, it's like a business maturity index, because we cover 360 degree of all the business, from financials to HR, from operations to marketing and sales, and all the functions basically in an organization. You were going to talk about a second argument, right?
Yes, another thing is, again, I heard a lot from our clients, is that the assessments and the deliverables, the delivery is agile. Basically, it takes a lot less time than a traditional consulting business would take. If I was a traditional business consultant, I would get into a company, assess them for probably months, and then analyze them offline by myself, come up with recommendations, arrange meetings with themselves, and share my deliverables, which again would be shelfware. But our platform really makes that process very quick. And the agility that we bring in to the consultancy business is also another factor that our clients like, and I myself as a former consultant like.
Yeah, definitely. We heard a lot that spending time with consultants, sometimes valuable, sometimes it's very time consuming, especially if it's like an audit, like a review session, then it might be very cumbersome, and you give them a lot of data, they report 500 pages, end up in the shelf, and then you don't take any action at all out of this. And we try to cut away all the inefficiency and really focus on what is important, the executive summary. Basically, you get your measurements, you get your recommendations, you get your priorities, and you execute and maximize your impact. I think from we have this triple A analogy in our value proposition, also talking about the assurance of the transformation journey. Basically, when a company sets out sales to transform in a digital way, usually a lot of money is spent for digital transformation. Many people are assigned tasked to work on projects, and if it goes right, if it progresses, how nice. Sometimes it stalls, sometimes it fails. And many companies, we do surveys every year, and our surveys since the last 5 years have discovered that about 90%, 9 out of 10 companies, don't know their score. They even don't know that you can measure digital maturity. So only 10% of companies have a score, and that's 1 in 10. And usually it's done every now and then. Usually it's done when a big consulting firm arrives and does a digital transformation strategy and a roadmap, and then it's not done for the next 5 years. So we have disciplined our customers, and they see value in this, that doing it on an annual basis shows them how they are progressing, and this, what's measured gets done. Basically, this helps them to assure their digital transformation success. And we are truly happy, and we every year we conduct an impact summit where we showcase these success stories on our YouTube channel. If you're interested, please see our success stories. There's great companies there who have used the platform and the digital maturity index service solution to transform their businesses and accelerate their transformations. So great comments coming in from many different people. Thank you very much for joining. Any questions from the audience still? I see.
I think I did see two questions. One was related to the P&L. How do you basically correlate and
Yes.
your
All right.
results with the profit and
We have
loss.
some research on that, right? Emir, you want to
Yeah,
share your thoughts on that?
yes, the question is on the screen again. Yes, we are working with business schools around the world, Harvard Business School, London Business School, etc., to be able to show that digital maturity itself is correlated to, actually, there could be a causation between the two, the digital maturity and business results, more profitability, growth, etc. So we have an academic research around that. But on the other hand, we are trying to enhance our platform by trying to collect KPI data. That's more, I would say, like a KPI could be related to your P&L, and that in turn could be related to one of the recommendations that the platform generates for you. So in your roadmap, there is a recommendation that's related to a KPI which impacts your P&L. We will be able to track them in time. So we will be able to say that companies that work on such and such recommendation have increased that KPI, which in turn affected their P&L in such and such a way. So we are working on that, and that would probably we need some data for that to be able to say that, and that's on our agenda, I would say.
Yeah, well, the whole world claims that digital is good for your P&L, right? So when you read the reports of the World Economic Forum, of the big consulting firms, and anybody out there, basically, there is a lot of soft evidence that investing in digital is good for your business outcomes. There's, in some areas, this is very obvious. If you're a retail business and you don't have an omni-channel or an online e-commerce store, and you open an e-commerce store and that goes well, you can measure the impact on your P&L and especially on your the revenue generated very easily. But in many industries, the measurement of a direct impact of the digital transformation initiatives and investments on your overall equipment efficiency, on your maintenance quality, on your employment satisfaction, employee satisfaction or engagement, is subtle, is elusive, and is indirect. And then there is the whole world of intangible benefits. So the quality of your data, the quality of your analytics don't show up in your P&L. But that's the basic foundation of good planning, of good pricing, of good risk analysis, of everything basically in your business. And analytics based on data governance, data quality, and good data management is the lifeblood, is the essence basically of digital transformation and succeeding with digital transformation. So it's a very important question. Thank you, Murat, for raising this question. We are working on it because we want to do it in a scientific, in a quantitative way. Otherwise, we have a lot of case studies and success stories where digital transformation has impacted tremendously and very positively on the P&L of our customers. But to have a precise correlation or even a precise causality between this investment and this business outcome is very difficult to prove. But we're working on it, and please follow our updates on the platform. This will be probably during the next year. We will get to a stage we're starting to collect business KPI data, and we'll integrate it to the digital maturity and also on the sustainability side of things. There is a nice question from another dear friend, Ajay. Thank you for attending and thank you for your question. You want to look on this side of things, Emir, in the pharma and FMCG sustainability indices and their regulatory norms. This is very technical though, and requires a lot of deep sustainability knowledge, probably. You have
but
any
maybe
comment?
we can comment by saying that the topics are industry based. So pharma, FMCG, and other industries. We have like 26 industries in our database. So the topics you are likely to encounter and answer are changing based on, are tailored to the industry. So within the sustainability maturity index that we are developing, we are not getting too technical. So we probably are not judging whether the company is compliant with the regulatory norms regarding sustainability, etc. But we have questions, we have topics that cover whether the company has totally missed the regulatory norms regarding the sustainability, and so we are covering the topic, but we are not making like an audit that whether to assess whether a company is compliant or not. But we are 100% sure that we cover the topic
Yes,
based on
I
an
think
industry.
this is a very important comment. So this is not this and should not be considered as an audit.
Yeah.
It is a measurement and a benchmark, and the platform itself is to transform better. It's a transformation management software for the measurement, the transform, and the impact side of things. So that regulatory norms and the compliance to it is covered in the governance dimension in the
Yeah.
sustainability maturity index, and it's basically assessed or measured from a maturity perspective. How mature is the company in terms of complying to the rules, laws, and regulations in their certain industries? And they basically do we call it a moderated self-assessment, moderated through a consultant or through the platform. And this connects back to a previous question from OrgShift Solutions. Chris Carter, our good friend, reminds us of something we have probably, Emir touched on it very briefly, but we should remind again that we believe that transformation is a team sport, and we believe that this assessments and transformation management, the transformation monitoring, is a group exercise as well. So this is not a mobile app, or this is not something you should use individually. We are working on an individual version as well of this platform. So you could have hundreds or thousands of your employees answering these questions, and we take an aggregate of it and see the disparity, the variance, and the misalignment between different or parts of the organization and between different levels of the organizations. But in the way we're doing at the moment, we invite the relevant people. Emir mentioned it at the beginning when he showed us the measurement tool, basically, that this is a group exercise. But you probably would like to elaborate, also blending in your experience in having done hundreds of these sessions yourself. How do they run, and probably a few very funny anecdotes of very positive sessions and not so positive sessions. Probably you want to give us a few anecdotes about those group activity sessions.
Yeah, sure. Well, we encourage every client to spend like 15 minutes on every topic, discuss them together, and come to a joint agreement on their score. But first of all, not everyone could agree. There are discrepancies between different units, different types of people, personas, etc. So it is kind of challenging for a consulting to bring them to a consensus around certain issues. That's number one. But they do come to a conclusion at the end. Even though it is challenging, we have always managed to get them to a conclusion and a consensus on their scores. But sometimes, by the way, I would say a second thing. Well, we encourage our clients, as I said, to spend like 10 or 15 minutes, but one topic could take like hours to discuss. Every topic that I briefly shown you in the demo are basically an area of expertise, and you can pick that topic and run months of time on it to improve your maturity on that topic. So we try to also tell our clients that you should have a bird's eye view when you approach each topic, and you should be able to conceptualize and come to a conclusion by conceptualizing it. Otherwise, it would take months and probably years for some of the topics to discuss. But probably within a year from now, we are also developing a product feature to address that issue. So we call that mass polling. We will be able to share each topic with the whole organization, and get everyone's score, every participant's score. Leave out the outliers that are scored too high or too low, and make a statistical result, come to a statistical result with the scoring of that topic. So mass polling will be able to normalize the scores further. Now, we do have some guidelines for companies to score themselves correctly, but mass polling, asking the same question to the whole organization and coming up to a statistical normalized score will be available within, as I said, probably like Q1 of the next year, 2024, and we will address that issue with that feature.
Thank you. Yeah, my funniest moment in an
Oh yeah,
engagement I was also
some moments. Yeah, I forgot.
attending was during a session. There was about 15 people in the room online. In that case, it was actually, that was before COVID. It was a physical event, and we were talking. I don't remember the dimension, but the people were in average 5 years and more in the company, so they should know what's going on in the company. But there's one lady who was not aware of anything at all, and then at one point I referred to her, "Are you sure you're working in this company?" And the reason why I'm mentioning this, and it was a very funny moment, everybody laughed, and we recognized that sometimes, and you probably have this in your organizations, you see this as a consultant, that there's, just simply said, a lack of communication to the staff in different parts of the organization, what's going on in terms of customer experience, in terms of operational excellence, in terms of business innovation activities, or in terms of what's happening in the IT organization, right? Or what's happening in the finance organization. And there's sometimes a bombardment of messaging, what's going on in the organization. And sometimes the important thing is lost. The signal is lost within all that noise of information. So again, these sessions, either you do them yourself or moderated by a certified practitioner, but it is so valuable in so many different ways, aligning the organizations, learning what's going on, being oriented and getting up to speed with the same people, being on the same page, sharing or building a joint terminology for digital transformation within the team, among the teams, and also understanding, our current benchmark average is 2.89 on a scale from 1 to 5, and it improved 0.1 maturity points during the last 4 or 5 years. So we have a lot of measurements which shows in which industries what the state of affairs is, basically. And we talk also about level 3, level 4, level 5, which there are not yet, which basically no company on the planet is on a high level 4 or even on a level 5. Even in very digital businesses, like the biggest tech giants of the world, there is still a lot of manual work. There's still a lot of Excel use in place. There is still many systems lagging integration and automation. So it's also a very important learning exercise, what's upcoming, right? What you need to do in the next 10, 20, 30 years. So in that sense, it's also very valuable input into vision setting, objective setting, and also prioritization. So we are and very respectful of your time. Um, do you have any final remarks, Emir, before we close this first platform, Impact Platform 101 webinar? Want to add anything?
I just would like to thank all for attending and spending time on our webinar. So we are continuing to enhance and enrich our platform. We want Digitopia's impact platform to be synonymous with successful transformations, and we are working towards that goal. That's all I would say.
Thank you, Emir, very much. Thank you, all the attendees. So keep on watching us on the social media channels. So every second Wednesday of the month, this Impact Platform 101 webinar series will continue, and we will update you with new functions and features and findings and learnings from the platform. Then every fourth Wednesday, 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. East Coast, 9 a.m. West Coast, we will have a so-called Connect meetup, which is for all the practitioners, for all the people who are using the Impact platform to share their experiences. On the 13th of October, which is about in 2 months' time, we will conduct a summit, a physical summit in Istanbul called the Impact Summit, and all of you are invited. The website will be live in a few days, and we will announce it to all these participants, and you will see it on our social media and channels and on our website. So you're invited to join there as well. Will be a lot of very important keynote speakers, including Peter Sondergaard and Timo Elliott and many others, and a lot of case studies, success stories from companies who are doing successful digital transformation and sustainability transformations. And there will be more announcements in the upcoming weeks. Please continue to follow us. Thank you very much for attending this first of its kind webinar. Thank you, Emir, again, for all the valuable information you provided. And see you soon again. Thank you.
See you. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Goodbye.